Hi, I'm Katie, and I did IES Abroad in Quito, Ecuador, and the Galapagos Islands. And I did it for their fall semester, and I was enrolled in the marine ecology course of the program. And I remember one of the main reasons I wanted to do marine ecology was because it had a lot of fieldwork aspects to it, and I was really interested in that part of the experience. And I also was really curious about exploring marine science a little more because I had kind of, in my undergraduate experience, been more focused on terrestrial ecology and biology. So it was an opportunity for me to try something new and I guess push myself out of my comfort zone a little. And the course was really integrated with this fieldwork aspect. So we did a lot of scuba diving and snorkeling and field trips. And that was a really exciting aspect of the experience for me as well. And I remember just feeling that the class had done such a good job of incorporating our immediate surroundings of being in the Galapagos Islands. So we were really learning about the interconnectedness of these systems and, the people that rely on the environment and the ecology of this place. And so that felt really special to have the course be so mindfully created around the place that we were in, and to get to explore it, by fin and foot and boat. Yeah, so I really had a great IES abroad experience in the Galapagos, and I look back on it very fondly and miss those field experiences and all those fun field trips. There are easily many moments that I can look back on in my time in the Galapagos that I will always remember. But I honestly think that some of the most wonderful moments that I like to look back on in my memories are the scuba diving moments, like that moment of falling backwards off the boat and being submerged in water and just like the slow descent down into the ocean, and then getting to have this amount of time where you're not speaking, you're just breathing and swimming and looking at all of the life around you. And those moments were so special, and I really cherish those scuba dives, and I miss it. So when I like to look back at my time, that's often one of the memories I go to is the feeling of scuba diving under the waves and watching all the fish swim by and getting to swim with sharks. Yeah, so many fun moments under the water and in the water. One of the first fieldwork projects that we had when we arrived in the Galapagos was this independent research project, and my group and I chose to do this like snorkeling survey of damselfish, to kind of survey how they react to certain external stimuli because they're very territorial fish. So we would snorkel around in this little cove and disrupt these fish, essentially just throwing things in their nests and seeing what they would do to these strange foreign objects. And so we were just snorkeling around, watching fish and recording their reactions, and I remember that being a really fun and sometimes challenging fieldwork experience. And then my favorite fieldwork experience was doing this like juvenile shark population survey where we sampled this shallow beach for baby sharks. So we caught baby sharks, and I got to hold, a couple baby sharks and measure them. And then our professor would tag these sharks, and that was a really cool experience because we got to actually, get that was very hands-on. Like we were holding the sharks and measuring them and watching them get released. So that was a really fun and memorable fieldwork experience as well. And there are so many, but those are just two of my favorite ones. Definitely when I went into the study abroad experience, I lacked a certain confidence in field research and also just in being in a new environment. It's very hard to adjust to that. And so the experience of being in a new environment and doing field work and engaging in a new culture and getting used to a new place, all of these things sort of naturally push at the boundaries of your comfort zone and introduce you to new things that help you grow. And so I feel like through that experience, I was able to grow in my confidence, in my ability to, you know, conduct research in a new environment and make a new place a home and forge these really valuable connections. And so the experience of study abroad was a really great example to myself of what I could be capable of if I push myself a little into this uncomfortable new environment. And so I carry that with me in my current research, or I try to. There are many things about my time in the Galapagos that inspired my desire to apply for a Fulbright. And I think one of the primary ones was the success of it. I feel like I had such a positive study abroad experience, even with all of its challenges and all of the difficulties. It was overwhelmingly a positive experience that, inspired me to want to find that again in a new way and to kind of take another step further even. And so the experience of traveling abroad and doing research abroad just really appealed to me, and I found that Fulbright was one avenue that I could pursue to maybe make that possible for myself again. And so I think in a way I was trying to emulate what I had experienced in my study abroad semester with one step further and try and take myself a little bit further past my comfort zone and a little bit farther into a new experience. And that's definitely what I've been finding in my Fulbright experience thus far. So I feel like what I have sought, I have found. I think it's hard for me to give advice, but when I think about what kind of advice I wish someone had given me coming into this, I think most of what comes to mind is this idea of it's not necessarily going to meet your expectations the way you imagine. Of course, it's so natural to have expectations. You can't avoid expectations, but I think I wish someone had tried to guide me to feel a little more flexible with my expectations, because things will change along the way, you will change along the way, your project will change, challenges arise and are solved, and new directions come from that in research and in general. So I think having a looser attachment to your expectations is really valuable and is very difficult to do. So I guess it's easy for me to give this advice, but it's very hard for me to follow this of my own advice. But I think that's something that I would say is loosen attachment to expectations, because it's gonna be wonderful and crazy and difficult, and you won't be able to know exactly how it's gonna go. But I think being open to letting the experience just run its course, rather than holding too tightly to your preconceived expectations is a valuable way to approach it. I think looking back, the reason that studying abroad was so pivotal in my desire to pursue a Fulbright could be summed up in one word, which is inspirational. That my experience studying abroad inspired me. The people that I went through this study abroad experience with inspired me. The professors that I had inspired me. The experiences of working in the field and of learning about this ecosystem that's so beautiful and wonderful, it inspired me to want to learn more about other organisms and other ecosystems. And so it was a huge source of inspiration. It was very humbling to learn from all of these people who I got to meet through the experience. And summed up in a word, I was inspired by my abroad experience. Thank you to everyone at IES for making my beautiful IES Abroad experience so positive, and thank you to all of my friends who I got to enjoy the Galapagos with, and thank you to all of the professors who inspired so much of my curiosity, and especially thank you to my homestay families who were just so supportive and loving, and I think about you guys all the time, so thank you.